Thanks for staying with us. Now over to all the sporting action now. Just when you might have thought that we have cricket coming out of our ears, quite literally, it's more cricket all the way making news. After all, it is all in the game. Now, in the face of growing criticism from England and elsewhere, Indian cricket have defended its refusal of the decision review system for the July tour of England. Meanwhile, Indian umpires have come out to say that they are not against technology, but are worried over the lack of consistency.
English bowlers have spoken for technology. So has India's former coach Gary Kirsten. And now support for the decision review has also come from the umpiring fraternity.
What we are worried about is that 93% yes, we are giving right decisions. That's 7%. The LPW decisions, it is almost the same, the hockey and the human umpire, what we are doing. But other decisions, like the close baton pads or some faint edges, inner edges, sometimes because of the sound, because of the crowd sound, or because of any other thing, it may not, when the bat is so close to the bat, then it may not be, maybe umpire may find it difficult to track it.
But BCCI is still not convinced. They think the human element in the use of technology makes it less than foolproof. For example, BCCI President Shashank Manohar says the main objection to this method is of ball tracking. He refers to it as a case of someone else's imagination versus the umpires. Sachin Tendulkar has also said he isn't against the decision review system, but would favor additional technology to make it more consistent, echoing his views from last year.
I would much rather go with the hotspot because that establishes the contact between the bat and ball, and it's a far better system according to me.
However, the hotspot technology that's patented by an Australian company will come for a premium price. Unless the broadcasters decide on paying that up, a consensus on the use of technology in cricket looks far away. In New Delhi, Rika Roy for NDTV.
Staying with cricket now, KKR skipper Gautam Gambhir speaks for the first time on injuries controversy, says that he decided he would play the eliminator game against Mumbai Indians despite pain in his shoulder because he owed it to his team, is what he's trying to say right now. His shoulder was fine throughout the IPL. Injury was aggravated only in the crucial game against Mumbai Indians. A day before the eliminator match, as captain, he wanted to play the final eliminator, and it was his decision alone.
People who've seen you play your heart out, I mean, wouldn't even ask that question. But the issues raised about the system, I agree with you. I don't think it's about people and KKR or not, but the issues raised about the system. The fact that Andrew Lapis' report said this is clearly a chronic injury. You played lots of cricket before that. Don't you think there should be a medical system in place where injuries can be assessed on an equal basis, not by the player himself, but by a team of perhaps physiotherapists, a team of qualified sports doctors who could say that you need to rest his shoulder?
Look, Andrew was assessing me throughout the IPL. I had this injury in the World Cup final where during my batting, there was a run-out chance and I dived, and that's when I got injured. But in the heat of the moment, I never realized that I was injured, and then I had this little problem throughout the IPL. And the last league game against Mumbai Indians, I just aggravated it, and then we went for an MRI scan, and the report only came on 24th. I got the MRI done on the 23rd, and the report came on 24th. And on 25th was that playoff game. So I told Andrew, look, whatever the report is, I still want to go ahead and play this game because of the importance of the game, and I don't want to let my team down. He said, and his first reaction was, let's discuss the report. I said, look, whatever the report says, I still want to go ahead and play this game. Whatever happens, and being a professional, what Andrew is, and the most professional physio I've ever come across in my life, his reaction was, if you've already decided to play that game, why not go ahead and play that game and we'll discuss after the game. I don't want you to think about the injury when you have already decided to go onto the field. And I personally felt that that was the right decision, because if you ask any of the physios, they will not let you go onto the field thinking about something else when I have already made up my mind. So my decision was to go out there and play that game, whatever the injury was. And that was my own decision, and he was assessing me throughout the IPL, and it just got aggravated in the last game. But if you see at the bigger picture, for me, when we discussed with the doctors, they said if it gets aggravated, you might require a surgery. So better go for a rehab and be out for 4 weeks rather than be out for 4 months. Exactly. And when people talk about country, I was thinking more about the country bit, that if I go out for 4 to 5 months, I think I'll miss far more cricket than I miss in those 4 weeks. So that was the decision which I made, not only for the best interest of me, but for the best interest of the team as well.
Now moving over to news of the big hitter Chris Gayle. Now a day after he said that he didn't want to play for West Indies yet again, the board officials are making an attempt not to lose the mercurial batsman. They have decided to write to him to find a solution. Now, although he has been dropped from the first test versus India starting Monday, on Tuesday Chris Gayle was called by the board to explain his comments about West Indies cricketing establishment on Jamaica radio. But a stormy meeting seems to have left the former skipper deeply disappointed. Over to other sports now. Olympic champion Abhinav Bindra today qualified for next year's London Games despite finishing a lowly 8th in the 10-meter air rifle event of the Shooting World Cup in Munich, Germany. Bindra, India's first individual Olympic gold medalist, shot a qualification score of 596, which left him tied with 8 others, but he managed to sneak into the finals by managing a score of 52.6 in the shoot-off. Well, that's all we have time for on this bulletin. Thanks so much for watching.